Hey folks, so today, July 30th, is World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. And I wanted to make sure I got something out because, we all know it's a critical problem. It's growing, it's getting worse. And, this includes labor trafficking, organ trafficking, and then worse still, sex trafficking, which, although the others are growing, sex trafficking, particularly involving the victimization of children, is growing rapidly, probably faster than the others. Stats vary, and it's hard to get accurate documentation because a lot of the stuff goes unreported. But as you can see here by the stats I posted, courtesy of the Tim Tebow Foundation, which, by the way, excellent foundation. They do great work. If you've got it in your heart, support them in any way you can. But we're at that crucial time now. Kids are going back to school, and I'm not going to belabor all the statistics that I just showed on that, on that screenshot. You can read it for yourself. Well worth looking into. But I want to talk about that kids are going back to school now, and we're at a time where, particularly for girls, it's a very vulnerable time, especially the change from middle school to high school. And there's a lot going on with their bodies. They're going through changes. We've all heard of the mean girls. They're very insecure. And much of this applies to boys too. But from what I've read, girls are the most vulnerable. And if you're seen as an outcast online, predators are looking for that. And I'm going to do a whole video on the warning signs, what predators look for when they're selecting targets, how they groom and all that. But I wanted to make parents aware, and the main focus here for this video is this. Folks, keep an open line of communication with your kids. That's crucial. I've been to so many trainings where they say that's the key. The more you know about what your kids are up to, what apps they're using, what online forums they're engaging in, the better off you're going to be in terms of you can be proactive if you see a problem developing. And I realize that's tough. We live in a very digital age, and it's almost impossible to track everything. And even if you stop stuff in your own home, kids aren't dumb. They're going to go and find a friend and go to his house or her house and get on the computer or use the phone there. So, but one of the big things is that a lot of kids don't want to share with their parents that they've been victimized. For example, like sextortion, which is, again, one of the many things that's increasing because they're afraid, one, they're going to get in trouble. Two, I think it's their biggest fear is that they think the device is going to be taken away from them. Have a very frank, honest discussion with your kid. Like, I'm not going to do that. I want you to be honest with me. And also the predators, if they can get an underage person to send them a nude photo, they'll then turn that around and say, if you call the police, you're going to jail because you sent me the picture. Even though it was of you, you sent me a picture of a nude minor, and that means you distributed child pornography. And I was at a training just the other day. They lasted about an hour. It was excellent. It was by the Child Rescue Coalition. And laws are being changed. The police are understanding, hey, technically a law was broken, but we're talking about a minor who was victimized. So both law enforcement and state legislatures are catching up to this problem. It's a slow process, but they're getting there, and I applaud them for that. So folks, more than anything, have an open, frank discussion. We're going to have much more detailed videos coming up here. So please like and subscribe so you get it all. And it's a sad topic, but it's one we have to address because it's not going away. So we need to tackle it head on and do everything we can to protect our kids. All right, you stay safe, keep your kids safe, and we'll see you next time.